want to leave, you'll leave when your contract's up. The contract that you signed with us, that you agreed to. But a lot of people have egos, and they kind of messed up with the Jordan Love pick. Brady even had an ego. He was a little touchy about Jimmy Garoppolo being in the building. And I understand. I mean, when they take a quarterback over a quarterback that's still in his prime, like Aaron Rodgers was in last year, it's going to feel a little odd. They're going to be like, oh, gosh, I'm like quarterback in the building? I thought I was a guy. Everyone has an ego, and it kind of gets at them. So, that's what's happening right here with Rodgers and everyone. Alright, so let's get some more music on. So, Matt Nagy says Justin Fields will take time to develop and all that. And it's true. I mean, obviously it's annoying for Bears fans because, they don't want Andy Dalton for a year, but I bet you by the end of this year, you're going to see Justin Fields in a uniform. I mean, it will take time, but you'll see him in a uniform by the end of the year. They're gonna keep saying, "Oh, don't worry, Andy's our guy," but it's gonna get to the point where they're like, "Yeah, let's just throw the kid in." So the Broncos have a touchy quarterback situation. They got Locke and Bridgewater, but they can easily drop Bridgewater in a hurry. So I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. Or not Bridgewater, Locke. But, I think Aaron Rodgers, they might be, they're back to the point where they were before Peyton Manning came. Where they don't look like a good team, but they're really a quarterback away. And when Peyton Manning got there, they won a Super Bowl. They made the Super Bowl the first year, and then 2 years later they were back. They were a quarterback away. And these quarterbacks, they do their homework. They're smart. Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. They're smart. They do their homework, and it looks like they made the wrong decision. It looks like a lifestyle choice, but it's not. They're doing it for championships. Last year, the Bucs looked like a team that was like a 6-10 team. Brady came and they were a Super Bowl team. You know why? Because they were a quarterback away. The entire time, they were a quarterback away. So let's see. Is Rodgers going to do it? I don't know. But, alright, so the Lakers are struggling. Now, this is rough, because they're going against good teams now in the final stretch, and they might get out of the playoffs. Seriously. They might be out of the play-in tournament. I mean, I don't know, man. They're really shot right now. I think LeBron's just shot. He had a shortened off season. Then he got injured, and now he's back, and now it's like, oh gosh, it's like a lot to go through for him, especially at his age of 37. So it's tough. It is tough. All right, so John Lynch says they planned to keep Jimmy G and Lance all along, and I knew this was the right situation. It makes too much sense because Jimmy G, when he's up. When he's healthy, he gets you to a Super Bowl. But if he's ever injured, Trey Lance gets some experience, he gets in the system, he kind of breaks in a bit, breaks himself in. I knew that was the right situation. It just makes sense, It works better than Mac Jones being the only guy. So, glad they did it. So 8 quarterbacks were drafted in 3 rounds. That's an NFL record. Now, a couple are going to fail, I don't think Trevor Lawrence is failing. I like his situation with Urban Meyer. I think they drafted a lot of weapons. Justin Fields, I don't think fails now because he's with the Bears. I think the Bears are in a good spot. They got, they got the great defense, good receiver, good running back, good offensive line, good coach. I don't think he fails. I don't think Trey Lance fails either. He's with Shanahan. I think he definitely succeeds. Zach Wilson and Mac Jones are people that I do think have a shot at busting. Because they have to go right in. Or no, Mac Jones doesn't. Zach Wilson has to go right in and, turn an entire franchise around. That is hard. And Mac Jones, I just have my doubts. I've explained this to you. I have my doubts. It's just a little. Alright. Yeah, my bet would be on Wilson and Jones to bust. Alright, so Lawrence's favorite to win Offensive Rookie of the Year early. I think a dark horse. I'm going to throw out a quick dark horse. Kyle Pitts wasn't in there, by the way. I was shocked to see that. But my dark horse. Watch Rashad Bateman on the Ravens. Just watch it real quick. Rashad Bateman of the Ravens. I think he's a good receiver. He's got Lamar. The running game is going to take the pressure off him. I think it's a good situation for him. Alright. So, wow, I got a couple more topics here. This is a long podcast. Alright, so LeBron is struggling with his injuries and all that. And it's because he's getting old. Age is caught up, it looks like. I never want to believe this with my favorite players. In general, not even just my favorite players, like players in general. I just don't like to believe that they're, falling off the cliff or anything. But, last year kind of worked out perfectly for him. 4-month break. And he normally gets 120 days off of the finals. He only got 70 this year. And AD was supposed to be the passing of the torch. AD did not play well. He got an injury. And you heard him last night about the play-in tournament. A lot of frustration is mounting here. And the late Kobe Bryant had injuries late too. It took a toll. He retired at 37. That was not expected. No one thought he was going to retire that early. I mean, sure, the year before that, like 2015, but the year before he was retiring, you probably saw, oh, he's old now, he's not that good. But think about this, 2011, coming off of a championship, did you think he was going to retire like 5 years later? Probably not. I mean, last year, I did not think LeBron was going to retire for a while, like maybe 42 he can play till. But condensed schedule, 80 is not as good. Really didn't get a lot of days off, which you need when you're older. And there's a lot of frustration mounting with LeBron right now. And I can feel it with him. I mean, I completely understand. I'm kind of with him on this a little bit. I mean, I like to play in tournament. I don't think anyone needs to be fired for it. I just don't think the 7th seed should be tied in it. I think it should be the 8 and 9 seed. I liked that last year, but I don't think the 7th seed should be tied into it. Because I think they earned their way into the playoffs, whereas an 8 and 9 seed could be like a game behind, and you don't know if another team could have, if that 9 seed team could have, are they better? They could be better than the 8 seed. The 8 seed could have had just an easier schedule. But the 7 seed, they're in the playoffs. They're locked in. Alright, so there are some, I wanted to give out some of my most improved teams this offseason. So I'm going to break it down. There are 2 teams that had a good draft. And 3 teams. There's 2 teams that just had a good draft. 2 teams that just had a good free agency. And 1 team that had a good draft. Or no, sorry, 2 teams that had a good free agency, 3 teams that had a good draft. Alright. First up is the Browns. They got veterans. They got draft picks. Who'd they sign here? Let's see. They got Clowney, good edge rusher. Trey Hill at corner. John Johnson, a defensive leader. Greg Newsome, probably the corner I want in the Packers draft. And Jeremiah Osu-Koromoa. I like him. I think he could play a lot of positions. Linebacker, safety, anything. I think those are great offseason acquire. I don't know how to pronounce that. But they acquired a lot of good players, the Browns. And you should watch out for them in the season. I really think you should. But the Chargers, Justin Herbert. You can argue Justin Herbert and Tom Brady. Justin Herbert and Tom Brady won free agency. They really got everything they wanted. They got an offensive line. Brady got all his players back. Herbert got a great offensive line. Corey Linsley, arguably the best left center in the game. You got him. Rashawn Slater, possibly the steal of the draft. Asante Samuel, great corner. Josh Palmer, better than people think. And, that's... and they got a guy from the Steelers, too, who can work on that O-line, too. They did a great job with their O-line and everything. So, I give the Chargers a lot of credit for that. Now, on to the guys that had a great draft. So, the Jags is up first. I completely understand the Jags, what they did. The drafting Travis Etienne, I did not disagree with. Because I think what they're doing is a lot like the Ravens did. They're using running game to take pressure off of Lamar. They're using running game to take pressure off of Trevor Lawrence in his rookie year when he's trying to get used to the stage. So you should really take pressure off of them. I like what they're doing. I think they got them good weapons, and I'm excited to see what they do in the next couple of years. Carolina had a good draft too. And isn't it funny that the two of the smartest guys in college football, Matt Rule and Urban Meyer, had good drafts? No, because they knew that these guys were good. They saw them play. I thought the Panthers did well. Sam Darnold was as good quarterback. What is it? They added Sam Darnold. I thought that was a good move by them. I really think that was the best they were going to get. They weren't going to get Watson. They weren't going to get... who else was on the market this week? They weren't going to get Wilson. But Darnold was as good as they were going to get. Terrace Marshall. I wouldn't have minded seeing the Packers draft him. I mean, it wasn't an obligation for the Packers to draft him. I mean, I didn't have a heart attack because he didn't. But, that would have been a good pick, actually. And Shuba Hubbard, I think, it could be sneaky good. So I like what they did. I think they did a good job in the draft and kind of free agency, too. And I think Sam Darnold, they're not going to be good teams. Like, these teams, like, Chargers and, Jags and... they're not going to be good teams this year. They're not going to be, like, Super Bowl contending teams. But they are, however, going to be much better than they were last year. So that's what I'm saying here. Panthers are not going to be a good team. Who else had an underrated free agency? The Chiefs. They got a lot of offensive linemen to help Mahomes, especially after losing them. But finally, the Dolphins had a great draft. Waddle, Phillips were great picks. I think Holland is a good pick in the second round. Liam Eichenberg I like. They did a lot of good stuff. I think if Tua